quote, Obama during the exchange. So why are people protesting Wall Street by disrupting the event of a presidential candidate who takes virtually no money from Wall Street, while half of them, according to the polls, plan to actually vote for Barack Obama, the ultimate Wall Street puppet? I mean, who is steering these people? We reported yesterday how the Occupy Wall Street official website had banned all material from Alex Jones and Infowars, glibly claiming that they agree with free speech unless it represents, quote, fascism. So apparently we're all fascists now. I didn't get the memo on that one. But now it appears that Occupy Wall Street protesters are targeting Ron Paul. They're not disrupting Newt Gingrich, who told OWS protesters to go take a bath and get a job. They're not interrupting Mr. Wall Street Mitt Romney. They're disrupting Ron Paul, the biggest critic of Wall Street, currently running a presidential campaign. So what's wrong with this picture? It's another blatant attempt by the likes of MoveOn.org and other establishment leftist Obama campaign fronts to co-opt the Occupy movement and to ensure that the Ron Paul revolution has no influence on its actions so as to run the whole thing into the ground. I mean, the Occupy Wall Street protesters need to get wise as to who is steering them and what agenda they are serving, because pissing off Ron Paul supporters, this sizable and hugely energetic grassroots movement that's, you know, shaken the core of the establishment for longer than most of these OWS protesters have been out of high school, is an incredibly stupid and naive thing to do. So OWS protesters really need to get wise and need to wake up to whose agenda they are serving. More on the infamous viral video pepper spraying incident at the University of California, which occurred, of course, on Friday and has since garnered worldwide attention. It now turns out that the cop involved in pepper spraying the students there for the crime of blocking a path was in fact honored. The Associated Press is reporting pepper spraying California officer previously honored. The riot-clad police officer who pepper sprayed a row of peaceful Occupy Wall Street protesters at a California university last week is a retired U.S. Marine sergeant who has been honored for his police work on campus, but also has figured in a previous discrimination suit against the university. So we've got increasing fallout from this story. We've got basically a Tiananmen Square style response with the artwork. There's pictures and drawings of this guy superimposed onto, for example, spraying Jesus at the Last Supper. It's gone absolutely super viral. The outrage has gone through the roof. We had this University of California Chancellor Linda Katihi, who tried to calm the nerves of the students of the protesters there by addressing them earlier today. We've also got a comment now on this from Michael Moore, who has come out on MSNBC and blamed Homeland Security for the brutality that we saw in the video. During an appearance on MSNBC, Moore correctly identified the cancer that is militarizing and corrupting law enforcement bodies, namely through Homeland Security funding. Now, it was just a few days ago that police in Tampa rolled out a 12-ton armored vehicle to deal with a handful of OWS protesters. And of course, we also have police departments using Homeland Security grants to purchase unmanned drone helicopters that can taser suspects. So everything that we saw being used against the alleged terrorists in Iraq and Afghanistan is now being targeted against the American people, thanks to Homeland Security. And if the cop in that now infamous video out of Portland casually pepper spraying non-violent students is anything to go by, how long is it before we see a Tiananmen Square style incident in the United States, which is precisely what Michael Moore has warned about in this appearance on MSNBC?
This was just 11 students in a not very well-known UC campus. And the images of this have resonated around the world in the same way that the lone young man standing in front of the tanks at Tiananmen Square resonated. This will be an iconic moment in this Occupy Wall Street movement, which clearly now has shifted to an even larger movement on campuses.
Now, of course, we had the reaction to the shooting incident at the White House several days ago with a report out of the New York Times basically blaming the fact that the alleged shooter had watched Alex Jones's film The Obama Deception, which has literally been seen by upwards of 30 million people. We had the New York Times blaming that as an influence behind the shooting. Here's Alex Jones with a YouTube clip in which he clarifies his response to the New York Times outrageous association with the Obama deception and this White House shooter.
Ladies and gentlemen, Alex Jones here with some incredibly important breaking news. I covered it today on the radio. I'll cover it more tomorrow. The Obama administration, through their operatives, has had the New York Times come out and try to claim, with no facts or proof, that the guy that allegedly shot up the White House with an AK-47 did it because he was a fan of my film, The Obama Deception. Now, they did this with Richard Poplawski that shot the 3 cops. It later came out that he was a white supremacist who hated me, and the government knew that. And instead of pointing that out, just claimed he did it because he liked me when I'm calling for nonviolence. They did it with the Tucson shooter. Turned out he was a leftist. That was all lies. And we've had the Obama deception hacked and taken down. We've had fake copyright claims put on it. It's been seen more than 35 million times. Total, all the different versions are up there. Some have over 10 million, some 9.5 million. It's incredible. And an attack on our First Amendment is an attack on your First Amendment. Now, someone is all over the thing with these hack dummy accounts calling for violence against Obama on my YouTube, so that when media all over the country goes to look at that video, because the New York Times is talking about it and national TV's blaming it on me, basically, they will see all those calls for violence. It's a way to get conservatives and liberals at each other's throats instead of waking up to the banksters. And that's why they're so scared of the Obama deception. The Obama deception says that Obama is a charming, nice guy, but a puppet of the banksters, and that he'll be politically built up and destroyed. And I said it 3 years ago. I talked about Europe being imploded by a banking crisis that would lead to a Bank of the World and a Goldman Sachs banking dictatorship. Now that's in Time Magazine, Newsweek, Financial Times of London. The banker coup in Europe. The film is so dead on. It's like it was made today, but it was made from the time he got elected in November until January and then February, and I released it when the FBI visited my offices and was asking questions about it. They used some other reason to come to my office, gave us a gag order, but then asked us about it, and we would call my employees and ask about the film, so we had to release it early. The Obama deception scares the daylights out of them, and it should. It tells the truth, and it exposes the next right-wing puppet that's coming. It gets past the puppets to the actual ruling elite. If we don't stand together for my First Amendment, you will lose your First Amendment. The Occupy Wall Street group has banned my name being posted on their website, calling it fascism. Oh, they're for free speech as long as it's not fascism. This is incredible. We are seeing more and more draconian pushes to restrict free speech in this country, and it's so dangerous to all of us. Please, please get the links out to everybody. Please mirror it on your site. Please get the DVDs, make copies of them, air them on Access Television. But even if you disagreed with the information in the Obama deception, you should certainly get it out to everyone you know and support it, because it's under attack. It's a First Amendment free speech issue. But I know if you'll actually watch the film, instead of listening to the New York Times, you'll see that it's for nonviolence, that it's against offensive violence, that it explains that the Federal Reserve's the problem, not the puppet presidents. It exposes the CFR, Trilateral Commission, the banking cartel. It predicted the invasion of Libya, everything, 3 years ago. Get it out to everybody you know while you still can. The fact that the Obama administration continues to demonize this, it came out a year ago, I'm on their enemies list, shows this is happening because the bankers that control him are very, very upset about what we're doing, exposing MF Global and the rest of it. So much is happening right now, and we've got to defend free speech from the internet kill switches and the rest of it. It's all coming down right now. If we lose Infowars.com, if we lose films like the Obama deception, nobody's safe. Why does the system not want you to see the Obama deception? Why are they spamming it with calls for violence right now to shut down one of the big YouTube versions with 9.5+ million views? Because the truth hurts, and this film exposes Obama not as the big wicked devil that this guy supposedly thought he was, the Antichrist, but as a little puppet, a nobody that he is, just like other modern presidents. Please get this information out to everybody. Stand for the First Amendment today. Don't let them kill free speech by killing the Obama deception. We don't want anything to happen to Barack Obama. He is nothing but a puppet. We want the criminal interest behind him to be brought to justice. They use him like a shield that takes all the heat. And after 4 years, they throw him down and pick up a new Republican shield. When they're done with that, they pick up another one. That's what's really happening here. I'm Alex Jones from the front lines of the Infowars. Infowars.com.
We'll take a break now on Infowars Nightly News, but coming up, we've got more about the TSA rape case. We've got our Man on the Street special feature. We're going to hear about the latest situation in Egypt. We've got a new scandal with ClimateGate 2.0. But at this moment, I'd like to encourage people to subscribe to prisonplanet.tv. Of course, we're running the yearly Christmas special. You can get the Patriot package, which is a 44% discount on the usual month-to-month price for a prisonplanet.tv subscription. Not only do you get live access to the radio show and obviously Infowars Nightly News, you also get voluminous library of archives spanning back to 2004 with special reports and much, much more. So that's the Patriot package with 44% off the usual price. And we've also got the Info Warrior package, which is a whopping 70% off the usual price. And that not only includes a year subscription to prisonplanet.tv, it also includes 18 Alex Jones movies on DVD. You get every single hard copy DVD of Alex Jones's movies in addition to a year subscription for prisonplanet.tv, and that is reduced from $430.55 to just $129.95, which is 70% off the usual price. So we got the Patriot, the Info Warrior. That's how you support the Info War. That's how you support Infowars Nightly News. So I encourage all viewers on YouTube to take advantage of those special discounts at prisonplanet.tv.
If you believe in this information and want to support its viral spread, go to the Infowars store at Infowars.com. We've got the new G.I. Joe Infowars T-shirts. We've got the incredible Pro Pure gravity-fed filters available at Infowars.com in the store. We've got a new DVD, Scientists Under Attack, the Don't Tread on Me flag. We've got all sorts of different bumper stickers to help spread the rebellion virally. It's all there, wristbands, citizen rule books in every order. Order online at Infowars.com today. The water filters, the canteens, it's all there. Infowars.com.
Welcome back to Infowars Nightly News with me, your host, Paul Joseph Watson. Let's continue with the top stories today. TSA worker in uniform flashes badge, brutally rapes woman. Yet another example of a TSA agent engaging in rampant criminality and believing themselves to be above the law emerged yesterday when 52-year-old TSA worker Harold Glenn Rodman allegedly approached a woman in full uniform before flashing his badge and proceeding to brutally rape and sodomize her.
Police say that a man wearing a TSA uniform flashed a badge to a woman in Manassas and then sexually assaulted her. They say that man is 52-year-old TSA employee Harold Rodman. Gail Pennybacher is live from the Manassas neighborhood now with more. Gail.
And if that news isn't shocking enough, Leon, what people are realizing here in this community is that the man happens to be one of their own neighbors. He lives steps away from where the alleged attack occurred.
Now, this epidemic of abuse and criminality on behalf of TSA agents is something we cover here at Infowars routinely. There's a new TSA horror story every week, sometimes multiple times weekly. We've got off-duty workers in uniforms flashing their badges as if it gives them immunity from the law to carry out harassment and sexual attacks primarily directed towards women. That's the kind of people that the Department of Homeland Security likes to hire. So why are we seeing this criminal epidemic? Is it the fact that criminals and sexual deviants are attracted to applying for TSA jobs because it gives them the power to grope, intimidate, terrorize, and dominate women and children? Or is it the federal agency itself training these goons that they have carte blanche to do whatever they want? Personally, I think it's a mixture of the two, but we're going to see a lot more of these stories with the TSA now being deployed in bus terminals, train stations, and, of course, on the highways. And remember all that paranoia about Obama's National Civilian Security Force? Well, this is it. I mean, as Jesse Ventura's case